Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Nostalgia Critic, and it's going to be The Cell. Oh boy, I've watched this movie before, and I gotta say, it's very fucking bizarre, very creepy. I did watch it 19 years ago, I think it was back in 2000, and it was very traumatizing for me. Because I believe this is like a woman that goes into a dream state world, and she gets sort of lost in it, and this guy goes in, and he's getting his intestines pulled out by this Egyptian king guy. I mean, that's what I remember, just the fucking gruesome, gory bits, and that's the bits I remember. But I do remember watching this movie. It was 19 years ago, but my memory is a little bit foggy, so yeah, it's really hard to remember stuff from 19 years ago, especially when it causes you post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah, let's see what Nostalgia Critic has to say about this movie, shall we? Let's go.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Many of us are familiar with exploitation films.
Yeah.
The movies that take an often controversial subject and, what else, exploit the hell out of it. Now, a good chunk of the time, the makers of these movies know they're making over-the-top tripe, jail-exploitation films, blaxploitation films, sexploitation films, gore-exploitation films.
I don't make major motion pictures, I make crap.
But the hardest thing to watch are the exploitation films that don't know that they're being silly. They think that they're making art. This is where The Cell comes in.
The Cell.
Directed by Tarsem. No, really, that's what he calls himself.
Tarsem.
He is too intense for last names. This is one of those movies that tries to tell you it's shocking, poetic, and deep.
It was shocking.
It takes elements from other movies that are shocking, poetic, and deep, and forgets to give it a story and characters that are actually shocking, poetic, and deep. The result is a visually interesting but pretentiously annoying dick fuckfest that thinks it's
a visually
acid
really trip.
Is. So let's dive into Tarsem's soul. This is The Cell.
Oh boy,
so
do we have to dive into
Lopez
it?
of Arabia wearing an outfit that looks like a melted version of Bjork's swan dress.
God. Oh,
come on.
damn. The
Come on,
dress.
mystery. It's broken. Who says? Mokilok? Now, Edward, we agreed. No more Makilok. Mokilok is the boogeyman.
I think John Wick's the boogeyman. Or is oh god.
No, we got consumed by those stupid scary face videos from YouTube.
He's...
So it turns out this was all just a simulation to go into the mind of a boy in a coma.
Sing a song of sixpence.
What's with that outfit?
I'm guessing that's code for why the fuck are we wearing Twizzler catsuits?
Yeah, why is that Twizzler? I was thinking the same thing. What the fuck is that? Twizzler candy suit?
Yeah, this nursery rhyme thing is one of the many pointless tidbits that really have no purpose. Like, why do they need a code to know if she's okay?
They just test her brain
hey, you okay?
cells, I guess, make sure it's responding efficiently. A bit like when you wake up from a coma from Star Trek, or
for whatever reason they call him Mr.
You know, they test your brain.
Because his mind is a mystery. This movie's pushing the envelope.
He loves it when you visit. My husband wonders if that's true. He wants to place Edward in the hospital.
Mr. Baines, I've been working on this project for 7 years.
I don't care if they've rebooted the Spider-Man movies. I should be the lizard.
So that's what he's from, Spider-Man.
Dr. Kent, your work's invaluable to this company.
Can't remember, I've only watched it once, that new one.
We've waited 18 months for signs of progress.
18 months? Good God, I pull out too. Give them 5 more and maybe they work their way up to hey diddle diddle.
Well, sometimes comas are permanent, so...
We then cut to our psychopath for the evening, Carl, played by Vincent D'Onofrio.
No.
As we see, he spends most of his hobby time partaking in...
What the fuck? Why is there a floating girl with nipples popping out?
Whenever Tarsem wants you to be disturbed,
Not that I'm
just gonna
complaining,
push the be disturbed button. Are you ready? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
Be disturbed.
Be disturbed.
Nicely done. So while Lopez is feeling bummed about not being able to work with Edward, Mr. E, she does what any in-control, non-dependent social worker would do. Get stoned off her ass.
Of course. I like this girl already, getting stoned.
Okay, now we're just looking for excuses to put her in pretty dresses.
Yeah.
Edward? Edward, is that you?
Pointless.
Creepy.
Oh, thank God. That scene will add a lot to the movie.
Nope.
We cut cut back again to Carl's hobby, which seems to be very, specific.
What the fuck?
You know,
Oh.
I'm starting to think this is one
guy
of those
loves
really
pain or
highly
something.
funded personal porno movies that somehow fooled executives into thinking it was telling a poetic story. You know, like The Passion or The Room. It's not
The
really
Room.
going in depth into anything, it's just giving the director a chance to live out his sick, weird fantasies. Just like my highly funded personal porno film, Clown Cats with Six Breasts from Outer Space.
Oh,
When
God,
will I
no.
find the other person who likes this?
No, no, you're
There, I
sick.
think those movies probably had much more convincing long
Not even
hair
a-
extensions
even a
than
furry would
Charles
find that
Bailey's dull
attractive.
boutique wig. So we cut to where Carl drops off the body and the police look over the crime scene.
Ugh.
Is the water always this low?
That's gross.
Yeah, this time of year.
Oh, he's from Breaking Bad. He's,
And we also have Vince Vaughn as the classic
remember his name, but-
obsessed cop. How do I know he's an obsessed cop? Well, he sleeps and brushes his teeth
Plays
in
the
his
cop.
office. He whispers his understanding of the criminal mind he's hunting.
He'd love an animal like that. You're the bad man, aren't you, Carl?
Not clear enough to be a statement, but just loud enough so that people can turn and say, oh wow, he's tortured.
Yeah.
And the number one reason I know he's an obsessed cop is he never closes his fucking mouth. Oh, I don't mean he talks all the time. No, I mean literally Vince Vaughn thinks the best way to look intense
Vince
is to
Vaughn.
just leave your
Yeah.
lip hanging open the whole time. I swear, all I want to do
That's
throughout
me.
this entire movie is go... Okay,
That's
he
me.
has to look intense
I do
when he's
that as well.
understanding a mind this sick.
I keep my mouth
Months
open.
and months of obsessing over this killer, he's finally come to an earth-shattering conclusion that will blow your mind.
There's one thing I know for certain. If we can't
Yeah, I'm
stop
familiar
him,
with this actor, yeah.
he ain't gonna stop himself.
Brilliant! Wait, what?
Wow, wait.
If we can't stop him,
If we can't stop him,
he ain't gonna stop
he ain't
himself.
gonna stop himself.
Really? That's the big
Fucking hell.
conclusion you've come to.
No shit,
I mean,
Sherlock. He's a
already
serial
killed
killer.
Several women. I think it sort of goes without saying he's gonna keep doing
Yeah,
what
it's a-
he's doing.
yeah, it's a
I dare even
compulsion.
say painfully obvious. What's the next conclusion he's gonna come to after all this time? All right, people. After months and months of research, we have come to the conclusion that our suspect does officially have hands. Put a search out for everybody that has hands. Move it! Move it! Move it!
It doesn't make sense.
My God. What if I'm the...
Better
But it
plot
turns out
story than
Carl
this
does
movie.
strike again and kidnaps a woman from a conveniently empty parking garage. He puts her in a location far away from his house, but thankfully the police figure out where he lives.
Of
However,
course.
he suffers a convenient plot attack and finds himself in a coma. But the investigators continue to search the place to see if they can find any clues to the woman's location.
Ooh, that's messed up. Are you sick?
Be disturbed.
This is
But the doctor fills
It's
us
like
in
going
on
into
what's
your
wrong with him.
bloody
Have you
parents'
ever heard
basement or
of
something like that.
infraction? It's a form of schizophrenia that infects the neurological system in utero. It lays dormant until it's triggered by some kind of trauma. He's not just catatonic. He's disappeared.
Are we talking about the killer or Vince Vaughn right
That
now?
yeah,
To be
true.
honest, I believe either one.
That doctor is familiar. I think he's in the X-Files. I've seen him before.
There is a girl that is missing.
I don't know.
If there were anything,
Yeah, his eyes moving. That
So after he
yeah,
does the earnest
he's from the
science thing,
X-Files.
he
That's
leads them
actually
to
a
the lab
condition
where
he
the
has.
dream machine is
I'm very
working.
familiar with
They
that
recommend
actor.
that they go inside his mind
He's,
and figure out the
in the
location of the
X-Files.
kidnapped woman before she most likely drowns in this death entrapment. Now, seeing how Carl liked to take beautiful women and turn them into lifeless dolls, it only makes sense that they send in the most beautiful woman they can find, I dare even say doll-like, to go in there and face the danger. I'm sure she won't
Of
be at any
course.
risk at all.
Diving into the mind of a serial killer. Yeah, that's
They
just
have to have
normal
a
and
Twizzler
rational.
suit his size on standby as they hook her up to the machine and let her dive in.
Not a good idea to dive in the mind of a madman.
Really? You're throwing in a cloth with Jesus' face on it. Yeah, I can just see Tarsum dancing in the background shouting, "Ask me what it means! Ask me what it means!" She comes across a little boy version of Carl and... Ask me what that means! Ask me what that means! Yeah, I know what it means, thanks. And he leads her to a horse in a laboratory.
Oh, shit. Oh, I remember this. This is fucked up. This would remind me of The Cube.
Be disturbed. Come on.
That movie, The Cube, is amazing, by the way, for those who don't know what I'm talking about.
Don't make me force you to write essays interpreting the director's
Cube is
work.
perhaps one of my favorite horror films.
That's better.
Sort of psychological, crazy, manipulative.
It's no more disturbing than how they make chicken McNuggets.
Oh, that's gross.
So she continues throughout his mind as we see even more disturbing imagery.
God, I remember watching this 19 years ago, back in 2000, and it was so fucking disturbing. Okay, it just got better. I'm just kidding. This is fucked up.
Right now, Marilyn Manson fans all over the world are saying, "I get this. This really speaks to me."
Yeah, this has become normal these days. Disturbing back then, but normal today.
We're supposed to be creeped out by all this, but this imagery has already been put in 1 million music videos by this time.
Yeah,
they
so
kind of lost their shock
that's what I
even
just
when
said.
this film
Yeah,
came out.
it's
Anything,
normal
it looks more
now.
like a tour through Pee-wee's S&M dungeon.
Pee-wee's S&M.
And pull yourself up a chair.
It's human flesh.
See when I'm getting tortured to produce a cheap scare.
Someone wants attention.
We're giving you fair warning. It's pretentiously boring and preachy at Pee-wee's dungeon.
I wonder who
But she
sung that.
finally
That's pretty
comes
damn
across
good.
the center of Nutty Town and decides it's too much for her to take and exits the machine.
Damn.
That's right, smoke. Smoke, you're obsessed. That's what obsessed people do. They smoke. If you were any more obsessed, you'd be eating those cigarettes. Ugh!
She's had quite a journey. That could be dangerous.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, if she came to believe that Starger's world is real, then theoretically her mind could convince her body that anything that was done to it there was actually done.
So you put her into that, knowing that there's danger?
Sort of like if a movie doesn't work on paper, it won't work even if you throw Jennifer Lopez in licorice tights.
Oh God, licorice tights.
Wake up. We don't have a lot of time. Do you understand that?
So Vaughn tries to talk with her to see if she can make any more progress.
You don't like what you do?
Used to be an attorney.
What happened?
I've seen this actor before from a movie, but I've seen him in a couple of movies. I just can't remember.
Molested.
God, will you close that damn lip? You're driving me nuts!
Margaret Sims.
Makes me crazy.
Oh God, it's so true. I do the same.
Till now.
Speaking of driving someone crazy, wasn't there a woman we were supposed to save? I mean, what the hell happened to... We don't have much time. They seem to be taking a lot of their time right now. Should we just cut to slowly sinking woman cam every time they say something that doesn't sound important?
Whatever happened to Charles Gish?
Old Charlie beat the murder rap because he was insane when he killed Margaret.
Somebody save this woman.
Hey, where the hell you been?
I've been right here.
Well, next time tell me, okay?
I didn't want to disturb you. You look so cute. You know, you're all sleepy when you get that look on you.
Oh God.
So Lopez decides to head back in.
I'm noticing a lot of actors from this movie. There's quite a lot of actors I've seen that I know, but can't remember what movies and stuff. There are quite a lot. It's quite shocking. Oh damn, is she still in the dream?
Yes, because as we all know, the killer, still deep in a coma, knows exactly what the room looks like and how to replicate it in his mind.
That's a good fucking question. That's a good point. Yeah.
Begin trailer fuel.
Whoa. Whoa.
So she goes into a flashback where she sees Carl as a little boy being abused by his father.
Let's break them all. How about that? You little fucking liar.
Damn.
Little faggot.
But things get even tougher when we flash back to even more traumatizing moments in his life. Like that
Jesus.
horrible experience when he joined the army.
Private Pile, you had best swear your
No, that didn't happen.
You will not cry. Do you mean to tell me that you cannot do one single
Full metal jacket.
slimy scumbag, you piece of shit?
That didn't happen.
Break that plate.
I broke the plate.
Did you
Oh.
break that plate? You're not
It's
his
the
mother.
spoon.
She left us, Carl.
What's this? A slow, painfully death by the extremely
See
inefficient
that?
weapon?
It's true the child beating scenes are really intense and pretty hardcore, but it dares to bring light to a concept that we never would have thought about before. Child abuse is bad.
No shit.
Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
Yep.
Child abuse is bad.
It is.
Because if you thought child abuse was good before, well, this probably won't change your mind because you're already a psycho. But thank God it's showing the people who already know that child abuse
Yeah.
is bad.
It
that
just reconfirms your
child
belief.
abuse is bad.
Bad, yep.
Yeah, that really justifies this sad imagery. But I guess it's good to show that child abuse always leads to psychotic killers. Well, okay, that's not true. But it does
Not
show
true,
the transition of Carl's psychological...
It helps feed it.
What the hell do we know about Carl anyway?
Yeah, true.
I mean, there's a scene where she's talking to him by a bathtub, and I just realized we have no idea who this guy is. We don't know if this is the real him, the dark him, the innocent him. We were never given time to figure out what Carl was like in the real world.
Yeah, so there's
we
no
know what he
emotional
did,
connection.
But we never figured out his
It's-
personality. We never saw him interact with
Yeah.
people. We don't know if he's patient, charming, awkward, funny, boring, anything. We actually know very little about him.
True.
So how is this character study supposed to tell us anything? Just that he was beaten as a kid and he kills people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make us understand him. It's like the story of Hamlet. If you were to tell us he was a young guy who wanted revenge and his childhood was fine, what would that tell you? Nothing. You need to connect socially with
Yes.
him. That's how you make us
Yes.
feel sorry for him. That's how you make all this exploitive bullshit actually add up to something. You see what the final result is. But instead we get evil monsters to battle. Ooh, ah. But you know what? That shit doesn't matter if we didn't see how it affected him in reality. There's no connection or understanding in this at all. But fuck it, let me guess. We have even more evil Carls to confront, right?
Damn. It's a bit like a
That hypothetical
Carl's
situation I
like
told
split
you about.
personality. He's splitting
What
up
a
to.
coinky-dink.
His mind is
Put-
unfamiliar territory and she's lost. She thinks this is real. Henry.
No.
What?
No.
No what?
I need you here.
Do
What?
what? All you guys do is point at the screen and shout exposition.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Ooh,
And once again, how come nobody else ever knows how to operate this brand new dangerous equipment except for two fucking people?
True.
Don't you think there should be more precaution for something that they're constantly saying puts people at risk?
I got bugs crawling all over my body.
It gets worse.
So Vince Vaughn decides to
that's
go in
comforting.
because, again, nobody else has ever gone in outside of Lopez. And he enters into the lame tricks.
What the fuck?
Someone interpret me.
Yeah.
I think I recognize that reaction. It's the faces of the people who funded this movie right after they saw what their money went into.
Oh god, yeah, that's pretty much sums it
So
up.
he does find Lopez pretty quickly, wearing...
What the fuck?
Did I miss something?
Yeah, this is...
Disneyland.
What?
So Vaughn tries to snap Lopez back to her senses. But not after getting a little Jenny booty while he's in town. Yeah, where's
okay.
that slowly sinking woman cam again?
Scooter sinking woman.
But bad Carl number 5 drops in and straps him
Oh,
down to
boy.
a torture machine.
Is this where he starts pulling out the intestines from what I remember 19 years ago? Oh yes, this is it. Oh my god, this is fucked up. This is the scene I remember 19 years ago. This scarred me.
Now confused.
Oh god,
Now
this is so...
disturbed again.
Yeah, it just rolls like a turkey Twizzler.
When
Oh
Vaughn tries to
god.
snap Lopez out of it by reminding her of her past.
Your baby brother had a car accident. He was in a coma for 6 months before he died. And I'm sorry for saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the scariest face in the movie.
It's like a turkey Twizzler. It's just... Oh. Damn.
You know, her mind must be a real blank slate. It took almost nothing to win her over to Carl's side, and it took almost nothing to win her back.
Yeah.
Tell her she's a peanut. She'll probably believe it.
Yeah.
So Vaughn is released, and he comes across the clue he's been looking for.
Oh boy.
Sort of.
What are you doing?
He gets out of the machine and starts making some calls.
What am I doing down here? That machine that he uses, there's a hoist, and I want you to look for a plaque or a metal plate with some sort of logo on it.
Carver Industrial Equipment.
I want you to find out every goddamn thing that you can about that machine.
Okay.
Who used it, who sold it, who bought it.
Wait, shouldn't he have done that anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw clearly that he saw the symbol before. What did seeing it in Carl's head prove? Was it
but...
just a reminder he should be doing his job?
Yes, you meant to be knowing this shit.
Open this door.
But it turns out Lopez isn't done yet. She wants to go back into the machine and bring Carl into her mind.
Oh,
She
God.
locks everybody out and does the experiment on her own. Funny, I didn't know she could do it on her own. I thought those two people were really necessary, but apparently not. She can go in very easily without anyone else. Whatever. Time to go back to Lameception.
Oh yeah, this is like the Inception, isn't it? Diving into the mind of madness.
I don't know how they did it, but somehow they worked in the Virgin Lopez.
Virgin Lopez.
This is an odd thing. Ask me what it means! Ask me what it means! That's it! I am so deep and deserve to be talked about! Aha! You cannot kill what was never truly thinking!
Use the holy hand
You
grenade
might
from
be
Monty
thinking
Python.
This is looking like the world's most hallucinogenic Christmas card. You don't? Well, Tarson will fix that. What if they actually add a Christmas border around the frame? I'm not even kidding. They put a Christmas border around the
Oh
frame.
my god.
What
What?
these
This
choices?
fucking
Do they even
movie.
care what they're filming
God.
anymore?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas from Tarson. I got Jennifer Lopez to dress as the Virgin Mary. What did you do this year? So while Vaughn thinks he has a lead on where the woman's being held, it looks like we're finally going to confront all the psychological issues by diving into Carl's psyche, coming to grips with the fact that his past does not determine who he is. Or she just fights him like a kung fu movie and rips his nipples off.
What the fuck? Oh!
That makes me understand him so much more.
Oh!
So Vaughn does reach the woman in time, but Lopez sees that
Not
by
the
killing the big
nipples.
bad Carl, she's also killing the little innocent Carl. I don't know how it works either, but...
Man's nipples are very sensitive.
God, boy.
So she decides the only sensible thing to do is to put him out of his misery.
God, this reminds me of like Silent Hill. What was it, like Silent Hill The Room?
Alright, so you breached security, defied your superiors, and you just killed somebody who was in police custody.
Yeah, you're fucked.
I believe we're looking at 10 to life.
Yeah.
Look at Lady Prison. I'm sure they make plenty of exploitation films there, so you should be right at home. Oh, I'm sorry, we're operating by the movie's logic. I'm sure you had a good reason for murdering him. We're just gonna let you off the hook. No charges pressed. Any other bullshit development you want to throw our way?
Killing someone in a dream doesn't mean you can kill someone
with the kid that you were working with.
Real life. So if you kill someone in a dream, you're not really
So
accountable
the
for
father
that.
of Edward found out that she killed a man through the device, and that suddenly gave him the confidence to entrust his boy to her again? Okay.
What about you? How are you?
According to the FBI, you guys put me on some drug-fueled mind bender.
I've seen this guy before. He's from that guy where he all stands up in a row holding a sign and they're joking around. I'm pretty sure that
That is exactly what happened. Nothing you said
the suspects or
was
something,
incorrect.
you know, the police scene.
I think we
I can't remember that movie.
today that we're not very good at what we do.
The scene like, give me the gun, motherfucker, or something like that, and they do that with that crazy face.
Pops up because it obviously looks like a commercial.
It does,
and the film
doesn't it?
finally ends. Ooh, I don't like this one.
No, this
if you're
is
gonna
just
do really
scarring.
hardcore, risque stuff, you better do it right.
Yes.
And have a good reason for it. I
Mm.
never got that from this flick. Rather than really
It
trying
was
to
just
understand
traumatizing.
somebody's mind or their psychology,
Mm.
it seems like they just wanted to fool us with crazy visuals that the film is saying more than it really is. Now, with that said, the visuals can be rather impressive.
It's quite
And the idea of
amazing,
going
and
to a
the
serial
animation
killer's
and all
mind,
that.
I have
It's,
to admit,
it's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
But it
unique,
has to be
but
done
still,
in
it's
this
scarring.
With more thought and less instinct.
Mm.
At least someone like David Lynch or Ingmar Bergman, who make very confusing films, at least give us a pure descent. It is 100% psychological and emotional interpretation. This film either has too much story or too much artiness that it never balances out. And
Yeah.
it just becomes obnoxious, pretentious, and annoying. I mean, wouldn't it be more interesting if we could really dive into a killer's mind and analyze it? Carl?
What the fuck?
You've seen my mind. I fed my soul.
Oh, come on, Carl. Just throwing some weird, crazy visuals at us doesn't count as a character study.
Well, if you didn't get what I was trying to say...
Why is he
by
holding a brain?
I'm not going to explain it.
Good.
Oh, good, I'll explain it. The little boy in me is the innocence that's left.
Yeah, I know.
And the me that sounds like the pulp from Men in Black, that's the bad me.
I know, that's obvious. But guess what? The human brain isn't that simple.
Kittens!
Oh yeah.
It's too deep, you wouldn't get it.
Kittens.
Anyway, the human mind isn't that simple. Hell, life isn't that simple. It's much more complicated. That's why we make movies about it.
Maybe it's not as complicated as we think. Maybe we want it to be complicated to make us feel better about ourselves.
That's a lie!
I'm the
Yeah.
nostalgia critic, I remember it, so you don't have it.
Yeah.
Like symbolism would like some baloney.
Oh, fuck me. Ugh. Creepy.
If we can't stop him, he ain't gonna stop himself.
No shit, that's what a serial killer is. I don't think he can stop himself. Okay, that's the end of the video. Yeah, that was The Cell. I remember watching that on VHS tape back in about 2000. It was about 19 years ago since I last watched that. It was pretty traumatizing watching the guy's sort of liver, whatever the hell that intestine sort of being pulled out and rolled around like a fucking turkey twizzler. Why I call it a turkey twizzler is because I was actually eating watching that scene, and I think I was eating a turkey twizzler, and they don't make turkey twizzlers anymore, unfortunately. They turkey twizzlers are no longer available, but yeah, I mean, this was very, very scarring. But as the sort of the dive into the madness sort of style, the sort of the bizarreness of the special effects, the quirkiness, you know, it just all that. It is very fascinating artwork, illustrate sort of way. It is very interesting because, yeah, other movies did that, and it was unique to the movie, even though it was badly established. The story didn't make sense, and it was overwhelming, and I think it was too much. You know, I think it's too much. You know, ease up a bit on it. Let your mind explain the scenes, but there's no sort of explanation here. You can't really dive into it. It's like they just slap stuff in it, like a goat. Why is there a goat? You know, there wasn't a goat, but I'm just making an example. They just slap shit in it, and it doesn't make sense, you know. So diving into a psychology sort of in the mind of a madman sort of movie, this would have been great if they would have steady paced it. But I give it a point in the bizarreness and the craziness. As for the story, I won't give a point because it doesn't really make much sense. Well, it does. A woman goes into the machine and she gets lost in the matrix in someone else's mind. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. But the symbolism. This is a symbol movie where you have to analyze all the symbols. And some things just don't make sense. Some things are like, oh, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. What's that got to do with a movie? So I give it a point in the sort of artwork style, the craziness, and that's really the only thing I can give it a point for, is trying to be deep and psychological and crazy, because you got to give a point for people trying to dive into that, because it did have unique moments and very amazing parts, but it didn't make the movie it didn't make the movie amazing. So for me, I give it a point for its sort of uniqueness and trying to be creativity. You can be generous sometimes, you know, at least they tried, and you gotta give a point sometimes when they try something, but it doesn't allow you know, the movie to be amazing, you know, the rest of it. No, it was pretty bad, but a point for the artwork and stuff like that. It was pretty good. But yeah, that was The Cell, and I can't remember all the actors' names. The guy with the wobbly eyes, I've seen him before in a lot of movies. I've seen him in a lot of movies. I've seen him in a lot of TV shows. I think he was in the X-Files. I can't remember all of them. He was on the guys on stilts, but I'm pretty sure he was in the X-Files. And the guy, the police officer, he was the guy from, what was he from? The Sopranos? No, he wasn't from The Sopranos, of course not. He was from the suspects or something like that. I can't remember. He was holding up a sign and they was all making funny faces and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I remember him from. And the other characters, I remember them from other things as well, but movies I can't remember. So I do apologize. I remember all the actors' faces. I just can't remember what bloody movies they're from or TV shows. It's all foggy, so it's a real bitch not looking at their faces and not remembering the movies. It's like really painful because in the next hour I'll remember when I end this video, and it's just a kick in the balls. Yeah. If you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.